His uniform, along with many others, represents the United States Armed Forces. But look at the uniform. What do you see when you look at the uniform? What really goes on with the men and women that have served in the military? Pain isn't always physical. There's more than physical pain in the military. Serving 3 years in the United States Army, having family and friends that have served in the military, I can say that I experienced firsthand the emotional, psychological, and mental pain that goes on. When viewing military personnel, there's more than the eye can see. Today I'll be covering being in the military, transitioning from military to civilian sector, and society's perspective on the military. Joining will prove to be a bigger step in your life, but if you aren't prepared for it, it can be one of your biggest downfalls. From being stateside to deploying, everyday work life can be a challenge on its own. When I sit down and talking to Chief Warrant Officer 3 Duffy, who's had over 10 years in military experience, one of his biggest problems he said was being away from his family, whether it's deploying or being stateside late nights at work. For myself, enlisting at a later age was still challenging. Before the military, I had experience with work, finance, school, but I think one of the biggest challenges was deploying for me. Going overseas in 2016, which my first duty assignment was in Qatar. Closest it was 7,000 miles away from the east side of the United States. So it was a strain on our family, friendships, and everything, because one of the biggest things was an 8-hour difference. So that was a big stressor for me. Being a part of the military is a burden by itself, but transitioning from military to the outside world can be one of the biggest burdens for a new veteran. Sometimes people join at a young age, which when they get out, this is all they know. And a 2018 article by George Reynolds and Amanda Shendrup, studies show that in 2016, the United States Marine Corps had over 80 personnel that was under the age of 30, which means joining at a younger age is something that's common in the military. When you join at a younger age, it could be that 18-year-old man or that 22-year-old person who's never had a first job, never really experienced life, so joining can be the only thing they know when they get out. Common issues for combat veterans is PTSD. PTSD is not always physical. The pain's not always physical, the emotional, psychological damage they can have that can hinder them from getting jobs and starting a new life when they get out of the military. And one of the things, finding proper treatment for these things outside of the military can prove to be really hard for these combat veterans. From being into transitioning, military service is always something that's a topic in society. Different platforms and media always give their opinion about the military, whether it's criticizing or supporting them. Some believe that it's patriotic to serve. Some think that's a disservice to the country, seeing what's going on the media, whether it's war, whether it's helping out the community. One of the biggest things is that the military always shows up on the news. Sometimes we found out about issues that's going on overseas by the news, and people tend to be biased about their opinion, whether it's the networking, whether it's seen on social media, and social media has a really big part about that. I can't sit up here and tell you that everybody's experience getting out of the military or being in the military is bad, but I can tell you that there's always something that goes on beneath the uniform and the smile.